Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your November reading. I am using the Goddess, Gods and Guardians Oracle for their keywords at the top, and then the Archangel Michael cards for the main deck. I was drawn to use Archangel Michael, and to me this feels like this is a time where we're all very protected in all our endeavours for the month of November, and this period in time actually as well, I'd like to add. So bearing in mind that Archangel Michael is a very protective energy, and he definitely, these are the cards that I started doing readings for many years ago when I started doing my readings for people. Ooh, 2 cards in one. Interesting. Yeah, and he's always done me good. He's very, kind of like a big brother is the vibe and energy that I feel that comes off of him. So keep that in mind if you do need that level of support and want to call upon him. He is more than welcome, more than happy to come and assist you. Now, your first card, which come up for Aries as well, so I feel like this is a fire sign energy already for the month of November. It's High Priest of Atlantis. I feel like you're starting this month in a place of healing. Chakra healing is what his message is. So I feel like this could be a focus for you, Sagittarius, as well, to take time to meditate and heal kind of any energy that has been ciphered off of you is what I want to say, and that's really weird because that just comes to me as I was saying it. So be aware of like someone stealing your energy and how you can better that. But this card represents a healing time for you, which is what is happening in the energies of this year anyway. We are all being forced into this massive kind of roller coaster of healing and transitions, and that is just coming through here for you. I am really drawn to his arm. It has tattoos all over it, and I'm kind of getting this kind of vision of kind of like hieroglyphs on a kind of stone tablet kind of thing. So intuitively reading that to what that could mean to me is I feel like this is 2 messages to me is how this is coming through. So firstly, I feel like that this time is written in stone for you. Like this is something that you're supposed to go through to get to a place of growth, and it's happening quite quickly. That is universally happening to all of us, but it has to come through in your reading today. And then secondly, I feel like there's something to do with communication coming towards you, and this has healing within it. Whether you need to communicate with somebody, whether you need to send out a communication, being emails or text messages, or you receive this, you receive communication. But whatever it is, there's growth there, there's something to learn, there's wisdom. So yeah, keep that in mind. New beginnings and a fresh start. Definitely communication to me, this would come out in this. We have the blues of the sky, and the blues of the card I suppose as well. But to me, again, throat chakra could very much be the chakra that you are needing because communication is coming through quite strongly. But new beginnings and a fresh start is a great thing. It means basically you've gone through the hardest of times, so now you are starting something new, a new cycle. And I feel like this again is something that's happening universally, but this to me feels for you as though you're literally stepping into something completely different and out of your usual step, if that makes sense. And it feels as though you have been guided divinely this way, like you've happened upon it. It just feels like whatever's happening to you, it's kind of, it has that feel of like out of nowhere, things just kind of changed, shifted. So that's what this new beginnings and fresh starts feels like for you. Now this is the one where 2 came out. This is the NG we're moving towards, we're working with. So that's where you're at, the new beginning. They're both reversed, so pay attention. Focus on divine and perfect health. So again, that coincides, and Aries had this in their final column as though they're working towards this. For you, it's you're starting off the month like this. You're in this space of healing. Focus on divine and perfect health. Is paired with you're on the right path. So this is meant to happen. This is again proving, saying this was meant to happen. You're going through where you're supposed to go through. This is all part of your story, part of your journey. Loving that. That's good. But yes, I get this sense of something in you needing to heal during this time, or it is actually. Whenever this card comes up, I do say if you're having any ailments, get them seen by a doctor. I do like to believe in pairing naturopath with modern medicine, because they both should naturally work together, but they don't in the society that we're currently built up. So don't just rely on natural remedies, and don't just rely on one doctor. Get the help you need if there is anything wrong. However, I don't feel like that is the case. That's not really shining through. I just wanted to say that to make sure that you're checking in with yourself and making sure everything's all fine. Right. What I feel like is this is a time of kind of, you are coming into yourself during this. I do feel like some of you may feel really emotional, and I kind of want to point out that in times when we are the most emotional, that's when we're seeing the biggest growth. When I get teary, when I start talking about my own truth, I get really emotional. It makes me cry, even when I don't want to, and I'm like, oh my God. That is really healing. This is a moment where you've come to this realization, you're speaking your truth, and again, this communication with that is keeping me on that path of this being a great time for you to realize that you are letting out all of your truth. And it's the time for you to see what that does for you, not worry so much about other people in this situation. But you're on the right path, and I do feel like you are divinely guided. Again, this is Archangel Michael holding the hand of you, and you're kind of just like, yeah, we're moving, we're going. And this again, why it feels very miraculous. Like this is just something that's just happening, and you're like, wow, and you're being told, it's happening because this is supposed to happen. This is what's meant for you. And I do feel like for quite some time, a lot of us have suppressed a lot of ourselves that has kind of slowed down what is meant for us. It's kind of like we put the brakes down because we are the masters of our lives. We're the ones that keeps it rolling, that heads towards better things, different futures, etc. And to me, this is like now, because you've got the ball rolling, this is just happening quickly for you and naturally. Oh, I'm loving Aphrodite. Eternal love. And I get this sense when I saw it, I was like, this is you taking care of your needs. This is you nourishing yourself. Look how curvy she is. She's so beautiful. She is literally the embodiment of sexualness, beauty, and yeah, she's passion. And this is what I'm feeling for you, Sagittarius. I feel like whatever's happening in your life right now is actually just kind of opening up this passionate side of you, which I'm loving, and I love to see that. Now I feel like, again, you are very supported, and Aphrodite is definitely someone to call upon when you are wanting to embrace your passions and self-love. She's all about this self-love. Now I kind of want to make you aware of like the magnetism of self-love. If you ever feel as though you're not attracting the right person, or maybe love's just not coming to you, how can we do that? Well, I mean, I have an Aphrodite spell candle that I use, but I actually called upon her when I created them and infused it with her essence kind of thing. And it's made to actually tackle the root of the cause, which is the self-love. Because when you are feeling yourself, when you're feeling sexy, you're feeling beautiful, you're just laughing and you're smiling, you're just enjoying your life. You're not looking for anything. You're not looking for somebody to come and save you and that kind of thing. Because you can support yourself. We all can, right? That's when you become the most attractive person. The most attractive version of yourself is when you stop looking and stop focusing on the outside of you and start focusing on the inside. That's when you become beautiful. And this to me is what you're working on and realizing in your life, that actually your happiness outweighs far, 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 far than just somebody coming to save you and make you happy. Because that's not just... Nobody wants that. Nobody does. We actually don't. Even people that think they want that, like, you don't want that. Why would you want somebody to fill a void? You want somebody who can see your beauty, has their own beauty, and you can both be freaking beautiful together, living a beautiful life together, embracing each other for who they are, who you are, and, you know, living your best life. And that's what I feel like you are coming into, Sagittarius, and I'm loving this energy. Loving it. Positive thoughts was reversed. Positive thoughts create positive energy. This is what I've just been saying to you about what you attract. Fix that inside. Fix that mindset. Stop telling yourself you can't do something. My daughter is a Sagittarius. She's only just turned 7, so she's a 7-year-old. So it's slightly different, but it's a good example. And she tells herself all the time that she can't do it. Like I'm saying, the other day I asked her just to, can you go get shorts and t-shirts and get dressed? She's like, oh, I can't, I don't know what to get. And I'm like, you know where your shorts are, you know where your t-shirts are. It doesn't matter if it matches, we're just picking your brother up. She had the day off school because she was sick. She wasn't, which is why I was making her walk with me. Anyway, and then she's like, I can't do it. Like, I don't know where it is. So I was like, okay, well, when I'm ready, I'll come and do it. Because I was getting my son ready, I was getting me ready. Anyway, so then I go to do it, and she comes with me. I'm like, look, our shorts are in here, and the t-shirts are in here, and I pick what I think's nice. And she's just like, no, I don't want to wear that. And I was just like, geez, Autumn, come on. And she does it herself. But, and I knew she could do it. It's not a hard job for a 7-year-old to do. I know what she's capable of, and she's capable of so much. But in herself, and if this is a Sagittarius trait, I only have my daughter to go by, then it's like, you know, and I say this to her, I'm like, you can do anything. It's like, don't tell yourself you can't do something. Just try it. If you don't do it right, or if you need help, that's fine to ask for it. But try first, because you'll probably surprise yourself how freaking good you are at doing things. I've been trying to teach her that. But yeah, it's like, I feel like this is where that's at. Mindset. Stop telling yourself you can't. As humans, when we tell ourselves we can't do something or it's not possible, we just don't try it. We don't put in the effort. And actually, I had kinesiology in May around my birthday, before my birthday. My mum bought it for me, a session. And during that session, doing all the things she does, she said to me that you need to stop saying the word try. And I was like, okay, I'll try. I was like, oh, I mean, I'll do my best. And that's what she was saying. Stop saying you'll try to do something, because that's indicating that you probably might not be able to. Start saying that you will do your best. Because when you start saying that, you start doing that. And this really is what this column is saying to me. It's like, embody the person that you want to be. Start telling yourself you can. Start doing, believing, trusting yourself. This is your life's purpose. It was reversed again. It really, the energies want you to know this. The support around you wants you to know that this is who you're supposed to be. This is where you're supposed to go. You are supposed to be manifesting all the greatness in your life. So let's just stop with the self-doubt, stop with the negative talk, and let's make it happen, Sagittarius. Okay, next card. Sorry, I was drawn back to that life's purpose, so I got distracted because it was bringing me back, so I clearly didn't say enough on that. I'm drawn to the chest she's holding. I feel like, again, this is very much supporting your inner, working on the inner. To me, I'm seeing that globe that she's holding as inner light, and she's nurturing it and bringing it into light, like it's excelling lots of light. I'm getting the sense of this is your purpose, to, like, part of your life story, to make sure that you are shining and be in the role of your life instead of letting other people take over. Very much that. Pardon me. So we have Aditi, expand your consciousness. So again, this is what I've been saying. I do feel like meditation could be a really great asset for you during this time. It's popped up with me for the first card and now here again. I don't know who Aditi is, so I apologize, Aditi, but she looks like she is like Indian or something, maybe Hindu or something like that. I don't think she is Hindu, but I don't know. Sorry, Aditi. But she just is giving me meditation vibes as well from that, and the peace and calmness. And I feel like you are going through this transformative time, so practices like that can really help you go within. Sometimes if you are not very good at meditating, just sitting in the calmness, even out indoors in nature, which I highly recommend because nature has just natural healing abilities, just sitting out there can make you come up with a million different things for you to work on. For example, say that I'm going to use weight loss because that's something that is dear to many of our hearts in this world. Say you are like feeling, oh, I'm all chunky and all this kind of thing. Like, we kind of try and attack it all different ways. We stop ourselves from having this and we stop doing that, and we try and make all these things. It doesn't work because it's not really true to who we are. It doesn't work for us personally, even though it's worked for many other people. And that's because you're not doing something that works with who you are. And that's what I feel is key here, is to work with who you are and not stop doing what other people are doing. And actually that's kind of a guidance I'm giving to everyone. I'm noticing in many different words, it's about doing things your way, what works for you. But yeah, this is what you want to do. Oh, I want to lose weight. How can I do that? Sit outside and just ponder on that. And no doubt you will probably come up with several different scenarios of how you think will work for you. And then it's about, just thinking that through with yourself, having that thought process. We don't always have to rely on other people to give us our answers. I'm not saying do everything alone, because I believe community and helping others is what makes the world work better. However, I feel within this, we are being guided to work upon ourselves during this time. Scorpio season, shadow work season. And that's what I feel like could be really beneficial for you, to just be with your thoughts. Decide to be happy now. That was reversed as well. Your whole entire reading is pretty much reversed with the Archangel Michael. So it's saying listen, pay attention. Decide to be happy now is saying choose now. Don't be like, oh, I'll do that in about 5 months, or actually I'm going for Christmas, I'll have this time off work, I'll do it then, or blah 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 blah. No, now decide to be happy every single moment. You don't know that tomorrow is not promised to any of us. You never know when your time is, and it's morbid to think like that, but the way of thinking like that is you choose to actually embrace this moment. So you start kicking goals, start reaching just decisions, or just everything, like even making a drink in the morning. I mean, I don't drink coffee or anything like that, but some people really do, and big coffee drinkers, and that makes the day. Just that little ritual of making your coffee, making it perfect to your taste, sitting down and drinking it, like that's, and just that moment, be happy in that moment. And then when you're getting dressed, choosing what makes you feel good about yourself. So it's kind of like we've allowed ourselves to become a kind of cog in the mechanics of of life. So we just don't function for ourselves anymore in any ways. Maybe in superficial ways, but that's not really the same. Sometimes people with superficial ways actually do have the great tools. They just don't use it to the way that would really benefit themselves. Not always. I'm just sort of saying when it is in excess and it's not great for somebody. But like taking care of yourself and doing what makes you feel good, in turn makes you embrace who you are. It makes you be nicer to other people. It makes you see people who are going through the same things you are. I feel like by focusing on number one in terms of self-care really can make you be the best version of yourself. Actually, this just come to my head now as I said this, to use an example of how in the opposite way around that's bad. For example, in any society where a person is suppressed for who they are because some god says so, when it's not true, it's actually a man who says so because he wrote a book and then said it was from God, but he actually interpreted it wrong. Anyway, off topic. When you tell somebody they're not allowed to be who they are, like they're attracted to somebody, so they feel like they're wrong, so they suppress that side of themselves. They then be toxic towards a partner, not in a bad way, like they're good partners, but they don't really love them because they're not attracted to them, but they've put themselves in that position because that's what they have been told they have to do and have to be and have to exist in that. So they become this cog and they just get dressed and they're miserable and they're don't really generally talk to anyone, and then it creates someone who's very negative, does not contribute to society, and probably actually will become quite toxic to people in their lives. That happens all over the world for as long as suppression has happened. Anybody that is suppressed, I'm telling you now, anybody that's suppressed is not really a good, best version of themselves. Nobody. Not one person. And you might be like, oh, well, this person's really nice to your face, but they're not living their best truth. And I feel like people that have been forced into this, like there's so much trauma there within yourself that you can't really have authentic feelings that can be expressed onto the outside world. So that's food for thought. Did you know that Hitler wanted to be an artist, but he was told he was not allowed to? That's a very good example. And I'm not saying we're all going to be like that, because not all of us are capable of such like audacities, but what I'm saying is like that is another good example of somebody who was not allowed, who was told that that's something that makes them weak, something that, like, because his dad was just a horrible person, and I don't believe that people create evil people. I feel like we're all capable of good and bad, and our lives experiences are what's bring that out, and that's the whole point. Suppression does not bring out the best in you. So decide to be happy now and focus on the good things. You are protected through this, and so are your family. You may even have family with you. It is Halloween, the veil is thin. By Halloween, I mean any kind of hallow during this time. We have Diwali as well, and lots of other festivities and that around this time of year, which indicates our I can't speak now. I do need a drink. Indicate our ancestors are near, and this is saying that you are supported. They're right by your side during this time. But they want you to have fun. They want you to kind of realize your full potential as well with this. This leads us back onto life force energy with not Cain. I feel like it's not, I'm not saying it right, so I do apologize, but I don't know how to say that. Cain? Anyway. He's giving me living your best life, live yourself, be authentic. And again, when I'm touching on, you know, we have rainbows, we have pride here. And pride is not just to like queer people. Pride is to everybody. We all should be proud of who we are. Straight, gay, whatever gender you identify with. Like, it does not matter to anybody else. It matters to you. And that's what's important. And I feel like living your authentic self, and it's about being who you're supposed to be. And yeah, the world is telling us now that it's okay, but we now have to start believing that. Obviously, that people that are telling us it's not okay, but I can just see the future being a much better place if once we all accept that being our authentic selves, we are all different. Nobody is the same. Nobody is superior. You know, we're just different, and that's cool. Nobody likes boring people. Because nobody is boring. That's what I mean by that. God is in charge. You have another life path. Pay attention. You're on the right path even, sorry. You're on the right path. This is your life purpose. Decide to be happy now. God is in charge. Favorable outcome. I'm sorry, but these last two cards are saying you are meant to go through this. You are meant to be here right now. You're meant to be channeling yourself. You are meant to be going forward fearlessly. And I do see this bringing you good things in terms of family. The God is in charge has this kind of family unit on there. And that's how I see it, as being like, you know, everything's good. Let go of your worries. There's a favorable outcome. Things are balancing. Things are getting better. Things are changing for you, Sagittarius, that is giving you the life that you've always hoped and dreamed for. What it comes down to is believing it. It's here. So now you have to believe that it's here. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. That was very kind of deep. Saggy, why are you so deep? November. But I'm loving it. Remember to be kind to yourself and embrace who you are wholeheartedly. Yeah, take time for yourself. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next month. If you have any comments, please comment below. Any questions even, and anything you want to say, just let me know and I will get back to you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month.